Hello and welcome to my rank 4 spam deck profile. It utilises Sacred Crane and Star Drawing to kind of replenish your draw advantage. I've been toying with this deck for ages now, and yeah, I just love the concept of it because it doesn't use an archetype. It just uses a random selection of level 4 cards which all synergize really well. So yeah, without any further ado, I will go through my rank 4 deck profile. So to begin with, we have 3 Tin Goldfish. When it's normal summoned, special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand. And then we have 3 Goblindbergh, which essentially does the same thing. So we have 6 monsters which will grab a level 4 state from my hand by special summoning it. And then we have 6 monsters to go with those 6 which enjoy being special summoned by those cards. And those are Sacred Crane and Star Drawing. Now, Star Drawing, it can be used for a rank 5, but we don't use that effect. The effect we use is when it's used as Exceed material, draw a card. So as soon as you Exceed with this, and for example maybe at Goblindbergh, you'll make your Exceed and then you'll draw a card. So it's a 1 card Exceed based on that draw. Similarly, Sacred Crane, when it's special summoned, you draw a card. So Goblindbergh and Tin Goldfish, both special summon. So you get to draw as soon as this is brought out by either of those. So it's the same principle, Star Drawing. And it just helps replenish what you use to make the Exceed. So very useful engine. We then have 2 Kagetokage. First turn King of the Foul Imps play is pretty solid. So yeah, just getting these straight out of your deck and then being able to chain them to summons like Star Drawing or the other monsters in your deck like Summon a Monk, Myrmeleo, Lyla, Heroic Challenger, Extra Sword, and Zephyrus the Elite. So these are like my sort of one-off tech choices. This is to make a beat stick because Exceed monster summoned with this gains 1000 attack. So if you need to get over something big, this is your guy. We're running Fiendish Chain's Call of the Haunted, so return one of those to your hand after using it to special summon this. It's very useful. Lyla and Myrmeleo. We run only 1 target for Myrmeleo, Bottomless Trap Hole. However, when it's special summoned, you can target a spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. So, because we have so many cards that can special summon this, including Call of the Haunted, not just monsters, it's quite a good way of hitting back row. And Lyla's similar in that sense, except she'll get her effect even when she's normal summoned, so you can chain Kagetokage to her, use her effect and still get a rank 4 afterwards. So sort of some back row hate here. And then 1 Summon a Monk, not running too many spells, but just being instantly able to summon that Sacred Crane, get a draw straight away, or special summon your Myrmeleo and get a pop straight away. It's just very versatile. So running a Summon a Monk, and that is the monster lineup. That's 19, I believe. Sorry about that. Then we have spells. So we have 2 MST. We like to hit back row in this deck. We don't want our plays to get interfered with. And so the reason I'm only running 2 MST is because I'm also running 2 Forbidden Lance, which is just incredibly useful, incredibly versatile card. And if you're against a deck which isn't running many traps, then that attack difference of 800 can also be quite useful. We then have 2 Rota. This card's just gone to 3, but there's only 4 targets for it, so 2 is the maximum I'd play. So we've got Goblindbergh and Extra Sword, so you've got a searchable card that increases the attack on Exceed you might summon by 1,000, or you could just grab Goblindbergh if you need it. Failing in that, it's sometimes, if you don't need this, you can discard it with your Summon a Monk if you draw it. So then our 1 Soul Charge, which has been put at 1. I felt like it was going to get put at 1 at some point, so yeah. But yeah, it's really good in this deck because each time you special summon Sacred Crane, you draw a card, and then obviously Star of Drawing gets you to draw a card when you Exceed summon, so you can make a bunch of Exceeds and draw a ton of cards in the process. We then have Dark Hole. Obviously Raigeki's just gone to 1s, and I don't have that, so whenever I put Dark Hole in my deck, you can just basically have it as a placeholder for Raigeki, because that's what I would be playing instead of this card. And then the last spell, Book of Moon. So yeah, and then we have our traps. 2 Fiendish Chain, just a very useful card, and it works as Zephyrus the Elite. 2 Call of the Haunted. I was running free, and it's not bad to run free because with Sacred Crane, you draw a card when you special summon Sacred Crane with Call of the Haunted. So this card has great utility in that sense. Even if your opponent MSTs it, you have a Sacred Crane in the graveyard, you can chain this, summon Crane, and still get to draw a card despite this being destroyed, so really good. And then as our 3rd slot we have a Pinpoint Guard, because even though it's only reactive to your opponent's attacks, what you summon cannot be destroyed that turn, so it can also be used to kind of protect yourself. And of course, much like Call of the Haunted, it will still trigger Crane's draw effect, or if you want to summon a Myrmeleo and get a pop, there's a lot of utility. So yeah, those 3 are our sort of grave revival lists. And then we have our normal traps: Solemn, Bottomless, Torrential, Compulsory. 1 Breakthrough, 1 Dimension Slice, quite good in this deck because we special summon a lot, and you can chain it to things like Call of the Haunted, and a Dimensional Prison. So that is the deck lineup. The main deck's really quite cheap, but I think the true power of this deck is kind of dictated by your extra deck. My extra deck's not exactly perfect. There's a few cards I would like which I don't have, but I do have the vast majority of what I'd like. But like I say, if you are more of a sort of budget player, the main deck is really cheap. So if you can kind of compromise and just buy cheap rank 4 options, the deck will not set you back too much. So we have King of the Fell Imps to get our Kagetokage. It's a good first turn play, as I've said. If you are using Sacred Crane or Star Drawing to summon this, it's a 1 card Exceed. Then when you activate this effect, you essentially, this has cost you nothing, because you've gotten a draw from summoning this, and then you've gotten a draw from its effect. So it's really quite good in that sense. We have Castel, my sort of go-to card, because I've not got 101, so this definitely does the job. Well, better in most situations, albeit not having that defensive element. King Gorgon, our beat stick, with extra sword, Heroic Challenger. This can get up to 450, so it should get over most problems. Maystroke, Abyss Dweller. With Tin Goldfish it is actually 2200, which is a nice perk of the deck. Evilswarm Exciton Knight. Obviously that field nuke's nice. The deck, it revolves around gaining advantage, but because it doesn't have an archetypal focus, it still might fall behind since it doesn't have the internal support that other decks tend to have. Black Ship, Ragnar Zero, nice with the Forbidden Lances too. Diamond Eye Wolf, not essential, but we are running Sacred Cranes, and so if you have another one on the field, you can pop that to destroy something instead of itself. Cowboy, Heartland Draco, Rhapsody and Berserk, Crazy Box, Papal Operative, and Masquerade. I mean, these three are probably more optional, or if I had Lavarval Chain and 101, I'd probably swap 2 of these out for that. But otherwise, I'd say, as long as you've got a few kind of really powerful rank 4 options, this deck's pretty good to go. So that is my rank 4 Sacred Crane deck profile. Like I say, I just enjoy that it's not archetypal. And yeah, it's just a really cool deck mechanic in my opinion. So yeah, feel free to like, rate, comment, subscribe, or if you didn't like it, or if you have suggestions, leave those below also. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.